Concerned about. There are thousands of National Guardsmen, law enforcement personnel, first responders, and even volunteers who are waiting for rescues. Some of them are already conducting rescues north of here, but they're waiting for this to diminish a little bit to see what the flooding situation is, and then they will go out and act. So the hard work isn't now. The hard work comes after this passes by.
Just remarkable, Don, the images that you're broadcasting back to us. Don Taylor, I want to thank you very much, and the crew down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to head back to North Carolina, where Hurricane Florence is pounding the region with rain and wind. You're streaming CBSN.
To make things safer for you, but you heard it from the man himself, the sheriff. Please stay off the road. There is a curfew in effect tonight at 10 o'clock. If you are out and you're near a law enforcement officer from someone from the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office, you will get stopped.
Yeah. Sheriff McMahon, thanks for taking the time. I'm sure we'll check back in with you later on today.
All right. Okay, and thanks both of you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, and of course we will obviously be calling him later on this evening. He's always very generous to talk with us and give us information. We want to pass along this information too from the Wilmington Police Department. A large tree fell on a home on Mercer Avenue about 9:30 this morning.
Yeah, investigators there believe that it involved a family of three. One person, they've gotten one person out of the home, taken to New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Two others are still inside that home, though. Rescue crews are trying to get the tree off the home and complete the rest of that rescue.
Wow, that is very fun. We have a crew headed there, and we will try to get a live update to you just as soon as possible. Right now, we're going to go to Brad Myers. He is in the digital studio.
Yeah, guys, and I'm wondering if the three people, that sounds awfully familiar, like what Lester Holt was posting. He said officials now say three are trapped in a house partially crushed by tree in Wilmington. Trauma surgeon summoned in case amputation necessary for one victim. Let's hope that's not the case, obviously. I just heard that while you guys were talking about this. Check out this live shot that we found. This is the Port City Marina. The large structure you see there is the shell. The good news, the shell's still standing. It's mind-boggling to me that this time last year, I was right there watching Willie Nelson perform right there on the shell. And what a difference a year can make. Also, the good news, though, most of those boats appear to be okay, obviously still floating on top of the water. That is a great sign and something that we really are happy to see. I want to drag this video up. This was that video I tried to show you earlier. Austin Inman posted it. He says this is on College Road, and take a look at that. That is a go gas, or what's left of it. All kinds of damage. Wow. Our WECT community voice page. Let me get that right here. Q Stanley writes, my father-in-law, it's his house in Sunset Park. The best part about this post, oh, look at that, the damage. Tree right into the house. He says, we are okay. Unbelievable. And as John and Fran have been saying, this has been playing out all across the area. Very dangerous out there. So if you are near a tree, big trees near your home, please keep an eye out for that, because that is happening across the area. This video posted out of turn around, don't drown. We can't say it enough. And if you can, just don't even be out on the roads. We showed that shot
really care about each other.
Yeah.
It's true.
Good point. All right, let's get back over to meteorologist Jessalyn Florence. Jess?
Yeah, and it's so nice to see that community page because as much as we like to see those pictures, but it's tragic. We're seeing a lot of those pictures where people are seeing trees down and everything in the roads. But the good thing is that we're getting those pictures from people who are safe, and we're seeing people who are asking us, hey, when can we come back? This is going to be a multi-day event. People who have evacuated, stay where you are. This is not going to let up anytime soon. A very slow-moving storm, and so it has weakened a lot. Still a Category 1 hurricane, 75 miles per hour. Gusts still at 100, moving west at 6 miles per hour. Notice that's 6. That's why we've been stressing this. A very slow-moving storm, and we can't stress this enough. It's going to be sitting over us for Saturday, Sunday, moving out probably on Mondays when we're going to start to see a lot of that heavy rainfall still dumping tons and tons of rain into our area. So those rivers are going to be flooding, and that's going to be our main concern as we go throughout the next couple of days and even weeks in some cases, where we're just going to be seeing lots of rain. We're going to be seeing as we go into tomorrow as well. You can see 3 p.m. tomorrow, we're still in those yellows, those oranges, and even into Sunday, we're still going to be seeing those winds, that rain. So as it's wet, it's soggy, and we're seeing lots of trees down as well. You get all that saturated ground, you get those winds, and it's just knocking down those trees. And looking at the radar, it's not looking like it's really letting up anytime soon. It's kind of sitting right over our Doppler site right now. You can see it's not really an eye anymore. It's definitely still a center of circulation, but starting to get those outer bands starting to move in towards the Whiteville region. You're seeing the oranges, the reds, so definitely seeing some strong winds there, definitely some tropical storm, hurricane force winds as well, and it's just looping around. These yellows and oranges are going to be making their way back into Wilmington as we get into the next couple of hours, even into the next couple of days, as I just mentioned. So yeah, still expecting anywhere from 12 to 18 inches to continue into our area. So yeah, low visibility, low land flooding, those rivers, as I mentioned so many times, this is going to be a major impact. They're not cresting right now, but definitely starting to see them rise, and it's going to continue as we go throughout the next day as well. We're going to be seeing moderate to major flooding, and this could be a very life-threatening situation. Going to be seeing lots of structure damage as we go throughout the next couple days as well. Starting to get past that 100+ mile an hour wind range, but still seeing lots of power.
We're seeing for wind gusts. This is what we're seeing on Ocean Avenue, and it's actually started to get a lot worse. It wasn't even out by the center line earlier this afternoon, but now you can see it's all the way up by the sidewalk, and it's actually coming up to this ice cream shop that's behind my camera person here. And I'll walk up the street here, and you can see the wind is basically blowing me up the rest of the street. The gusts have gotten out of control out here, so it's been very interesting to watch. Luckily, there's not a lot of people out and about. That's the good thing. The only people we've seen out here so far this afternoon are other media like us who are working to keep you informed and safe with this storm, as well as the police department who they don't want anybody out taking pictures, anything like that. It's too much of a risk to be out in the middle of this storm right now. They said they're even going to be contemplating in the next few hours whether they're going to pull their officers off the streets of Myrtle Beach and head up to the convention center, where is their command post. A lot of this area, I'm going to walk back up this way and show you again the wind. It's a little hard to keep walking up this way, but a lot of this area is without power this afternoon. A lot of the street lights are out, and if you do decide to go out driving, the police department wants you to know that you need to treat any intersection that has stoplights that are without power as a four-way stop. They say they've seen too many accidents during storms and power outages where people crash into each other because they don't properly do the rules of the road. So make sure you remember that if you're coming up to an intersection without power. It's going to be interesting, though, this flooding. Obviously, it's pretty minor right now. It's probably up over my ankles over in this area right here, but it's going to definitely be interesting to watch over the next few hours as it continues to rise. And if we do get a storm surge in this area, I'm sure coming up from this block all the way up the next few blocks are going to be affected and impacted. Luckily, we have seen a lot of people with sandbags out in front of their doors, so hopefully that can mitigate some of that flooding and some of the damage that we're going to see in regards to this storm. But for right now, we do just want to remind you that if you do venture out, the police department is telling you to stay home, so do not come out. But if you are driving, need an emergency, that sort of thing, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive through any of this water like this, because you don't want to risk your life and you do not want to risk the lives of the first responders who are out here working to protect you. We're live in Myrtle Beach tonight. I'm Dan Lamparello. We'll send it back to you.
Dan, thank you so much. And you can see right there, you can already see that water on Ocean Boulevard. If that gets...
It's tough to already see this now because I've stayed in that hotel before when I was a little kid, and I know that's right there on Ocean Boulevard, and you're just seeing a little bit of the rain right now. It's going to get worse.
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
yep. And you saw it. You could see his pants blowing in the wind there. And if you're wondering, you saw someone keep wiping the camera. You're going to continuously see that throughout our coverage.
That way you can see.
That's how you can see. So those photographers are out there. They've got washcloths with them. They're wiping off the camera lens for you. So we apologize for that, but that is storm coverage. All right. So this is some more aftermath of these high winds and rains from the hurricane in Wilmington, North Carolina. Look at that. Big tree uprooted, broke in the base of its trunk, partially lying in the street there. It doesn't look like, though, that it hit those condos right there. That's incredible. Look at right where it fell, just between two condos there. But that is a massive tree. And again, we saw a lot of trees down with Hurricane Matthew. I would bet that we're going to see a lot of that again.
Causing flooding in Washington, North Carolina. If you are safely able to take pictures during Hurricane Florence, we want to emphasize safely able to take pictures. Feel free to send them our way. We would love to see them. And don't forget to download our WPDE News app. If you lose power or go out of town, you can watch us out.
Big fishing community.
Sure.
A lot of the fishermen down there are very, very concerned right now. Megan Rivers is live in McClellanville right now. She is with our sister station, WCIV. Megan, how's it looking down there, and have you heard from any fishermen?
Well, we've been out here since about 4 o'clock this morning, and this is probably the windiest that has been since we've been here. We're right here by the docks now. Takes to make an impact here in the low country, the more relaxed people are getting. If Dan can come around this way, you can actually see people over here, Dan, riding their bikes, walking down the street, walking their dogs. And this is the scene that we've been seeing all over McClellanville. There's a very light drizzle right now, but the community is tired of being in the house, and so they're coming out. But the mayor is encouraging everyone to not completely let their guard down and to stay mindful and to continue to follow the meteorologists here in the area to make sure that they're tracking the storm and they're aware of what's going on, and so that they are not caught by surprise if anything is to happen here in the low country. But again, this is the windiest it's been here in McClellanville. Reporting in McClellanville, I'm Megan Rivers. I'll send things back to you.
Yeah, I love McClellanville. It was actually established in the 1860s. A lot of movies are filmed, though. That movie Paradise with Don Johnson, Melanie Griffith filmed there. I just visited there 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Beautiful fishing village. A lot of great places to eat. A lot of people
it's
here.
It's a darling little town.
They go there. It's actually technically in Charleston County, and we sure hope
yet, but like Megan just said, I think people are getting a little bit relaxed now that it hasn't quite hit them yet, but there very well could be some effects down that way, so don't let your guard down just yet. Now, one of the places most likely to see the effects from this hurricane are, of course, those spots right along the ocean. We just saw Myrtle Beach. That water was rising on the ocean, on Ocean Boulevard. Our own Brandon Dunn was live right on the ocean as you could start seeing the effects of Hurricane Florence.
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, we're sitting right here. As you can see, the Atlantic is right behind me. This is Ocean Boulevard right in front of us, where all the hotels and condominiums are at. The wind is really, really howling right now. It's really picking up. You can see how the trees are moving, and the rain is really, really hard at this moment. This storm just rolled in here with this type of rain and wind within the last, I'd say, 30-45 minutes here in Myrtle Beach. We were down in Surfside not too long ago, made our way up this way. In Surfside, it was really calm, no rain whatsoever. Once we got to Myrtle Beach, it really, really began to pick up, and within the last 15 minutes, it started pounding the coastline. Now, of course, the storm surge is something that Ed talked about all week long, saying that it was really going to hit hard. Right now, the Atlantic and really starts taking a battery along this coastline here on the Atlantic. And of course, This is just the beginning of what we will see here in Myrtle Beach and down the coastline. Of course, there's plenty more rain, winds, everything that's involved with this Hurricane Florence. This is just the beginning. We will have a lot more of this wind and rain over the next 24 to 48 hours. And of course, that's going to be something we really need to watch, and the storm surge as well. We'll continue our coverage here on Hurricane Florence as the day progresses. But for now, let's send it back to the studio.
And we are just getting word that ABC 15's Tanya Brown is in Florence right now, about to speak with someone from emergency management. Tanya, what are they saying right now?
Right now, the Florence County Emergency Management Department, they just wrapped up about a 30-minute news conference where they, gave us information on a number of things, including a curfew that I told you about earlier, and been director for 20 years. Dusty, why have you guys ordered evacuations for Black Creek and people living along Lynch's River?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, the rainfall that we're looking at from Hurricane Florence itself, 15 to possibly 20 inches. But additionally, we've looked at the long-range river forecast. The rain next week, it will exceed flood stage, and from our past experience, we know the levels of